Hey YouTube, it's CJ, and this is my response to Amanda's ever-passionate rant about prostitution. Again, Amanda, you pretty much said everything I wanted to say, so I guess I'll try to make different points. I agree, I think prostitution should be legalized. I don't understand why it's not legal. I can only think that would be a byproduct or a remnant of the old Judeo-Christian way of thinking that all our morals come from the Bible and this country was founded on Christian principles, yada yada. But I find it really funny that we no longer stone people for having extramarital sex, but we won't let them sell their bodies consensually. It doesn't make sense, because here's how I tend to think of everything. Here's one way that I define right and wrong. If the person in question is consenting and they're not hurting anyone, even themselves, what's the problem? I mean, someone could argue that they are hurting themselves because they're putting themselves at risk for STDs, yada yada, but every job comes with risks. Living comes with risks. Amanda, you already said that. So I think that point is moot. Let's see, where else could I go with this? I think it's really funny that people consider prostitution dirty or wrong because someone's getting money for sex, like they're putting a price on their body. What's wrong with that? I mean, most people, when they have casual sex with a stranger, they just give it away for free. I think if you want to call something dirty, that's dirtier. I mean, of course, there are things like, let me think. I mean, it just depends on who you are. Of course, I'm not calling anyone a whore or saying anyone's dirty for having sex. I mean, to each his own. Whatever you want to do with your consenting partner, go right for it. But what I'm saying is, at least the prostitute's getting compensation. At least they're getting something on top of just the pleasure aspect. They're getting money. I mean, that's smart. I think that's honorable in a way. Like, and you know what? I think I don't understand why the government's so against legalizing prostitution, because first of all, the revenues on the taxes they'd put on prostitution, we'd get so much money. Like, you have no idea. I'm pretty sure there is an estimated figure out there somewhere. I don't know it, but all I know is we would get lots of money. And also, one thing I really hate about how prostitution's done now is because it's illegal, it's usually like families get involved. So there are people on the streets being pimped, mothers who end up having to bring their daughters into that industry. These girls are like, what, 15, 16, sometimes younger, and even if they're older, it's still sad. Like, I don't... It would be a lot safer if it was regulated by the government. It would make more sense. We wouldn't have to drag underage girls who are going to be scarred by this forever into it. The government could provide a safe environment for the prostitution to go down, so no one would, I mean, the risk of getting raped or beaten or murdered or kidnapped or any of that horrible stuff that happens to prostitutes currently, none of that would really happen as often. And yeah, there would still be the risk, and yeah, it still would happen once in a while, but that's way better than how often it's happening now. At least we'd be trying to stop it. And all around, I just think legalizing it makes sense, and it makes a lot less sense to say that you're not going to legalize it based on the ethics of it. There are no ethics in pretty much forcing these people to work on the streets and sell their daughters for it. And, okay, I'm pretty much just rambling mindlessly because, Amanda, I think we need to talk about something we don't agree on, because I don't really like this whole like ricocheting off each other and saying the same thing just in different ways. So, good chip. Good chip, that's what I said. I know that sounded like something else. So sorry. I think we should talk about music. Like, but in one context. Maybe our standards for music and what we consider good music or bad music, if you even have standards for that, or what kind of music you like, what music should be like, or just anything. Because I know you're really into music, and I'm not quite as passionate about music. I told you I'm very picky about it, but since I am a singer, and I guess you could say I'm a musician myself, I don't play instruments, but I do write songs, and I keep them all in my head. I guess that would be a good springboard for us to jump off of. Did I really just make up a saying? Springboard to jump off of. Alright, so I honestly have nothing productive to say. I'm so sorry. You did mention the death penalty. I guess, yeah, I would like to talk about that, even though I'm pretty sure we probably have the same opinion about that as well. So, Amanda, unfortunately, this is kind of where I'm going to wrap up the video, because I have nothing original to say. Alright, toodles.